Can you make an entire zoo with only blueprints? Planet Zoo has access to the Steam Workshop, where people all over the world upload their creations for you to use. Now, a lot of other Planet Zoo players never really use blueprints on YouTube, so I'm here to change that. Today we're going to be making an entire zoo without placing down one construction piece. I see so many other people out there always curious about how some people are able to build so well in Planet Zoo, and the trick lies within blueprints. So without further ado, let's jump right in here and build a quick mini zoo using only blueprints. So when I said we're gonna make an entire zoo, I just really meant we're gonna make one section. So yeah, this is Castaway Keys. Really fun zoo. I finished it 2 days before Oceania pack got announced. I even tweeted out, if the next pack is an islands pack and I finish my island zoo, I'm gonna be mad. But I'll tell you what, it is totally fine because we're gonna add all 5 of those animals here today. Let's make an island. We'll get into the specifics of what I want this challenge to actually be, but for the time being, I'm gonna say that terrain changes are totally fine. Obviously, we could do terrain changes with blueprints, but listen, it's not that deep of a video. So after we do this, we probably won't be able to change it again. So I just think that we should give ourselves, enough space to kind of work with. And yeah, for the record, I am using free build, not for like any funky things I want to do. It's literally just so I could do this quicker. Right, so that's our next island. I think that's going to be a good amount of space. I mean, all these animals are relatively small anyways. All right, luckily we can place down paths because paths really don't require any blueprints. One of my favorite things to do is just do these like alternating path kind of things. Like, look at that, it's so nice. Let's lay down the groundwork. Here's all of my blueprints. We can use pretty much any one of these, and we could also go to the workshop to get more as we need it. I think these are probably going to be my favorite pieces in here. These are NYX FlexiColor rocks. They're going to be so useful. If only these were FlexiColor right frontier, go support my thread. So I guess one of the more difficult things that we're going to have to deal with are the actual habitat barriers. Since habitats are already kind of made in blueprints, we can kind of make do with them. Really like this St. Louis aviary. I think we could do something kind of funky with that. Specifically for the kiwi, I think that might be kind of fun. I think if we kind of like orient it right over there, that should be kind of cool. That's going to be such a cool little vista. So we have 5 different animals in here. Let's figure out the other ones too. Okay, we should probably start laying out the actual rules instead of me just getting distracted, so we can place down as many like blueprints as we want. Beyond that, I'm gonna give myself ability to FlexiColor stuff, just so that we have a little bit more of creative control. That's something that you guys can do easily with blueprints that you find on the workshop as well. And I'll tell you what, I'll say that deleting like actual pieces off of habitats might be something that we could do as well. I think it's going to give itself a little bit more of creative freedom for us in the long run. So like, say for example, Wyatt has this really awesome aviary set. We're just going to delete these. And now we're left with like this really awesome habitat shape. And no, we can't really mess with that whatsoever. Not allowing it. You know what? I kind of want to make this beach themed. We got all that like tropical beach foliage and like all that tropical like decorations and stuff in the pack. We might as well make use of it. Right, so I'm going to move these out of the way. Okay, call me crazy, but I think that doing this technique for all of our habitats, except for the little blue penguin one, might be the way to go. Or I'm honestly considering something a little bit cheeky. Would you guys, I mean, if we could FlexiColor other items, we could turn these into glass, right? Listen, this is my challenge. I get to make up my own rules. Yeah, I think that's a move. Let's do it. Okay, so we can at least put the glass down here, but we can't change anything else. I think that's got to be fair, right? Okay, so let's kind of work the terrain around this just so we could get like that basic shape that we're hoping to get. These penguins are small too. I'm kind of worried that it's not really going to look too good, but we'll see. It's fine. It's a learning experience. Oh, I guess I can't really change the height of that. It's going to be a bit difficult. But honestly, that's kind of fine. I like that. And plus, it doesn't need to be that big of a habitat anyways. Since we're working with a knoll, we can make it a lot smaller than it actually is. I've been seeing like so many comments on like the Reddit, on the Steam page mostly for some reason. I guess people like to comment on Steam pages that people are pissed that the kiwi, like, you know, the bird, because in the trailer it was located in like a sunny environment, everyone's like going all PETA on Planet Zoo, where it's like, oh, you guys are harassing this kiwi. And it's like, it's a virtual animal. Come on, it's not that deep. Listen, I know Zoo Miami was kind of given the old, yeah, I don't know what to say. Zoo Miami kind of messed up their kiwi keeping, but hopefully we won't. All right, I definitely want like little plazas over here. I think that's gonna be kind of cute. Yeah, I honestly like this. This is super cute. I mean, we could get the Tassies up here, little blues right there. We have kiwis right in there. And we need to place down a walkthrough exhibit. Honestly, I'm fine if it just exists on its own. Like, oh, I have a good idea, guys. So yeah, if we just place it right there and remove everything else except for the habitat, make all of this null. I gotta say, these walkthrough habitats are so freaking good for stuff like this. I don't know. Always makes me so happy to see that. Is there really no way to get rid of this? I think we can work with it. Luckily, I already have these rock blueprints made, so we could kind of just copy them from elsewhere and just plop them down in here. Yeah. That's looking kind of cool, right, guys? We could kind of decorate it a little bit more like that, just have it feel like it's a little bit synonymous with the land. And since these mangroves are already blueprints, I can just kind of copy them throughout here. Is that not such a cool idea for a habitat? I'm loving that. I'd love it even more if it were birds, but... And for the purposes of this challenge, I'm gonna say that combining blueprints, kind of like over here, would be fine. This is shaping up so nicely already. I love the idea of this. Like, look at that. It flows so nicely. I have, like, these clumps of bamboo I could kind of plop down here, too, just for a little bit of extra height. That is awesome. Look at these little bats. So, yeah, the fun thing about these bats that I learned is that they carry 2 life-threatening diseases to humans. Like, if a human catches it, they have a 100% chance of death. I just think it's funny that we allow the guests in Planet Zoo to walk through these habitats. I don't know. I think it's kind of funny. Right, let's get the rest of the animals in here. Oh, I would love a little albino kiwi. That's going to be so cute. Could do a breeding pair of Tassies. All right, I know I just said I was going to use free build just for easier terrain sculpting, but please don't hate me. Listen, we're kind of shot for space over here, so let me do this. It's fine. I'll take the L on it. Guys, please call PETA. I have my kiwis in the daylight. Oh no. I hope Taika Waititi or the Hobbits don't bomb me or something. I don't know what their rebuttal would be. The only way to get some of these Oceanian items in here is to actually use the blueprints that we got in the pack. So, you know what? We might as well just start. Let's do it. I really like this beach garden over here. There's a lot of cool items. Might be a good place for some bathrooms too. Okay, it's gonna be cheesy. It's gonna be so cheesy. But I kind of want this shipwreck in the little blue penguin habitat. Like, that's so cute. What I've been loving about these latest packs is that they've just had, like, miscellaneous buildings to add as well. And it's just so good for, like, this kind of extra theming. Like, even this right here, I feel like our quokkas can enjoy that. Speaking of, let's get some. So I think I'm just gonna start by outlaying, like, where I want the habitats to be with just grass. So from there, we could kind of, like, decorate the rest of it with soil and stuff, have it feel like it's a little bit more tropical. Okay, why am I loving this? This is turning out so cute. Like, the vibes are immaculate. Look at it. Look at the little guys. Right, so we need some fences. And on the workshop, there are a ton of really, really awesome fence sets. So I'm just gonna pick and choose kind of like whichever ones I want. I think I'm gonna start off with these 25 types of conservation fence types. Just a really, really awesome set that I've been able to use by this person on the screen right here. So this is going to be a really fun set. I think I'll make do with some glass fences in here. I think that these would look best. It's kind of weird that we can't, like, flexi color all of this together. It's a little strange. I do kind of like this mix of red and tan. I think that's going to be so cute. And yeah, obviously we're not really doing it against where it would be in the habitat. Like, obviously it doesn't line up with the perimeter, but I think that's going to be fine for our purposes over here because we're just making these little scenes. I really like this fence over here. This is super, super beautiful. Plus, I mean, we don't want it to look all the same all throughout. We can use all of these blueprints to our advantage just to make these things look a lot better. And I think carrying that on this side is going to be super awesome as well. I mean, just look at this. And quokkas can't swim, so just having this end at the water would be pretty good. You know, it fits our purposes over here. I think also breaking this up in the middle might be kind of good, just to have it be, like, there's a few dynamic points for you to look at, like, the quokkas from. I think that's fine. Gotta admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the habitat gate. Let's see if we could do something about that. There really isn't much, my friends. Oh well. Honestly, we could ignore it. I mean, it's fine. People know it's Planet Zoo. It's okay. But looking at this from the side, it's gonna be so cute. However, what I think I want to do is decorate the edges of this island a little bit more, just so that it feels, I don't know, a little bit more tropical. Get these mangroves in here. These mangroves are really cool too. They're by, pop up on the screen. There we go. They're by my friend over here. Right, that's looking good. Now we gotta work on the kiwis. New Zealanders, please don't hate me. I don't think I can make this an actual nocturnal building. However, I still respect these birds. I think that giving them, like, enough space back here is gonna be good enough for them to, you know, get away from humans for a bit. I wish I could do that. You see, this is looking so cute. I don't know. It's just so welcoming. This is kind of a funky fence over here. I like it. But I don't like it for the penguins. Let's see what else we can kind of come up with. Is there anything under walls? Yeah, I like Haribo set the most. Oh, if we kind of combine, like, this dark looking stone with the volcanic stone, oh, I think we can make some magic happen. And luckily it seems like these would match up fine for our purposes over here. I mean, we're not really going for gold over here, but I do want to make sure that our penguins have, like, the proper amount of space in their habitat. I don't want to overdo it. Alright, it's not anything too crazy, but I kind of do like the layout of that, so let's kind of dress it up a bit more. Oh my god, before we do that, I love this little cart. I think we gotta plop him down right here. And yes, this is a keeper's hut right now, but what I kind of want to do is just get rid of the keeper hut portion. And then from there, we could kind of play around with that. Oh, this is good. Okay, doing something cheeky over here. I'm separating this group from the rest of that blueprint so that we could actually get volcanic rocks around here. All right, so what I want to do is separate it again and just use these pieces to kind of even out this section. And then these ones, since they're a little bit more bumpy, we could use them as, like, just a little bit more concrete decoration pieces. So that way the water feels like it's a lot more rocky in there. Yeah. All right, why can't these guys actually... Okay, so they can get in the water. What's wrong with them? Okay, before I forget, I do want to decorate this part over here just so that they're not going in here. Because I hate when they get boxed up and that area over there isn't technically habitat. And plus it looks just so good once it's actually covered up. I love this area so much. It looks so nice. Right, so our Tassies over here, I think we could do some kind of funky stuff with them. I think this waterfall is going to be such a good centerpiece for them. And I think beyond that, I should probably lower this habitat down a bit more just so that it feels, I don't know, a bit more interesting than the other ones. And we could kind of smooth it out a bit more. There we go. Okay, I do like this walkthrough exhibit. Obviously, we already have one, but I want to see what we could kind of steal out of here. Obviously, I think that, like, foliage clumps is going to be the best thing to steal. I think that this building right over here too, yeah, it's looking pretty good. I'm gonna cheekily steal some more foliage from in here as well, just so that we could have, you know, access to all the cool new plants that we got. And that building is kind of alright, but I love this one over here. I love the curves on it. So now we have, like, all these really, really awesome pieces that we can just plop everywhere. Oh, this is so cool. And this is stuff that you guys can easily do on your own end, not only with, like, Frontier blueprints, but with real people blueprints as well. It's just such an awesome system that I feel like no one really takes advantage of, and it's so sad. Alright, it's not perfect, but I really do like how this looks up here. I have, like, a ton of rock structures already made, but even if you guys are doing this as, like, your own little challenge, there's, like, a million different rock sets on the workshop that you guys could use for this. And it doesn't look too clean, so let's go through and kind of clean up these edges. Yeah, huge shout out to, like, the Frontier team, because I feel like their blueprint sets have been getting so much better recently. And it's just so awesome that we're finally able to, like, have an excuse to play with them. I do want to use some more of these rock sets back here, just to give it a bit of texture. I think I kind of want to make it feel like a pit. Tasmanian devils are, like, very, very clever little guys. And they're, like, terrifying, too, so I want to make sure that they're not able to escape their little habitat in here. And I'll tell you what, we need some more fences in here, too. I think glass is going to be best for these guys. Green's going to be such a good color up here, too. Alright, I kind of line this up, too, just so that we could have a little bit more of a pit. And what I'm going to do is kind of just angle it up and tuck it right back there so that it feels a bit more organic. And I'll also kind of shift it side to side so that it feels just a bit more interesting. I know, it's kind of like just a pit, but we can make it fun. We could honestly do the same thing up here, too. God, this... it was going so good. It just feels a little bit like a mess right now. I think we just need some foliage. Yeah, I think going hand with tropical trees in here is going to be our best bet. And personally, I love these huge rhododendrons. Rhododendron trees? Listen, I'm not Mike Sheets. I don't know my plants. I know my name is Leaf and all, but still. So one of my favorite blueprints from Castaway Keys is this little fig tree bush. And I put like a whole bunch of like these purple pink flowers in here, and it just makes for a really, really awesome cover. And yeah, I just like to plop it everywhere. How can I not? And luckily, all of these animals aren't climbing, so what I'm just gonna do is just go in here and disable climbing. That way I get to save on like a huge chunk of like frames. I don't get much lag when I do that. It's great. All right, I do need like some more general cover. This is going to be a bit difficult, but I think it'll be worth it. How does that look? That's good. I think I'm going to do the same thing with this one too. So yeah, I made these for the red river hogs and the mandrills, but my cheeky idea is to just use it as general plant cover. It's like making me viscerally upset that I can't go through and use like my classic dren grass technique or stuff like that. It's so sad. But you know what? It still looks pretty good. No complaints. Oh, I love the looks of this. Just stalactite walls. So good for, like, beautiful cliff faces. Especially when you stagger them like that. That looks awesome. Yeah, I think that's the extra little spice that we needed in here. We were missing just a little bit of interest, but I think adding these little natural landmarks works so well. I forgot we also had those tree clumps. Let's start to use some of them. I think we could use, like, this little bit over here, because, like, I don't know. I think we gotta start using a lot more of these DLC trees. No, yeah, it's starting to hit me just how awesome this is gonna look. Okay, honestly, this is, like, the perfect area for something. I don't know what we could throw in here. I think a shop shell might be kind of good. Monsieur Fita. I seriously can't get over just how good this is shaping up so far. Look at it. All right, let's work on the kiwis over here. There's this really good chicken coop on the workshop that I think can make for like a really good nocturnal house for the kiwis, or at least something for them to, you know, at least hide in. Now, don't hate me, guys. This is like the only piece I'm placing down, but I still want to do it. I'm placing down a burrow so people won't get mad that they're nocturnal animals. Listen, I know my rights. I know best not to fight with New Zealanders. They're scary. All right, let's get some more rocks around here just so that we could break up this section a bit more and have it feel like it's a little bit more unique to itself. I don't know. Like, that just looks so cool. You come around this corner and then you see, like, all the penguins swimming, if they actually did swim. I love when the lawn people are here. All right, I need more general tree cover back here, so what I'm just going to do is use this group of, like, big trees and kind of line it up back here. It's not going to be pretty from this side, but listen, who cares? I'll also do the same right here just so we could get a little bit more height on this island. Right here, too. Oh, my gosh. She's filling out, boys. I like it. This is a tropical island I always wanted. This is so nice. I need more, like, general cover, though, so I think I'm just going to make a blueprint out of all this stuff. And in theory, we could kind of just copy-paste it. I really do like this little curve down here. It just feels so quiet. I don't know. I like my quiet spaces. We do need a bit more mangroves throughout here, though, just to help it feel a little bit more organic. And honestly, I don't really think I'm going to use the volcano rocks. Not the volcano, but the flexicolor rocks. I love those pieces, don't get me wrong, but I feel like they just don't fit what I'm going for in here. I just love the irony of making an entire aviary for the kiwis, even though they're like one of the only flightless birds in the game. Actually, all the birds are flightless. What am I saying? I don't know, maybe we could imply that there's like tawny frog mouths in here. I think that'd be a cute thing to have if we actually had flying birds. Alright, so I think since we can't really do the buffalo grass technique, I'm just gonna use these panels everywhere just to get that good foliage cover I really want. Oh yeah, that's good. So yeah, it's like pretty much any other kiwi habitat I've seen in real life. You can't actually see the animals. Like, listen, I love nocturnal animals. I think they're some of the coolest little guys out there. I'm a nocturnal animal. But I hate not being able to see animals when I go to the zoo, and I feel like nocturnal houses actively work against you whenever you want to see them. We should just let all kiwi exhibits stay outside. I mean, what's the worst thing that's gonna happen? God, that's so good. This is so good. I love the fact that we're working in a tropical zoo too, because we could place as many plants as we want and it wouldn't look bad. Alright, now we're kind of in like the finishing stages, so I think if we just throw down a whole bunch of mud walls, it's really gonna lend itself to look so good in the end. Alright, we're getting to the point where I can't find like the actual blueprints I want in here, but you know what? It's fine. It just means that it's filling out. And plus, like, down here is staff access anyway, so I guess it really doesn't matter too much. I do like this little section up there, though. I think that's such a cute view. And I think I want to get back over here and actually do railings, because, like, I don't know. I think we should at least have this be a little bit more attractive once you come onto this island. Change the water back to tropical. I think we're pretty much done with these fences, at least. And some of my finishing touches for these kinds of habitats are signs. So I'm using the Lion's modular sign pack in this zoo, and I changed a whole bunch of colors to be red, just because, I don't know, I kind of like that color combination in this zoo, like the red against like all the tropical green. So I'm just going to pop throughout here and kind of place a few of these down. I think it looks pretty neat. And I think with that being said, we're pretty much done. Even though there's one thing I want to add in here. Now, one of the biggest flaws about the blueprint system is that we can't actually place down benches. It's pretty much like my only main complaint about it, but I'm just gonna throw down some all throughout here, just make sure it feels a little bit more cohesive, makes it feel like a zoo. So I guess technically you can't make an entire zoo with blueprints, but listen, it's fine. I don't think I've ever used a bench in a real zoo. Always walking, always going somewhere, always gotta see some animals. I honestly really like the white benches in this zoo. I think it fits such like a nice vibe because it feels so clean against like the rest of the jungle in here. I'll tell you what, we could do some brown bins too, just because, I don't know, I kind of like that brown color of the fences that we were doing earlier, and I think that this fits that vibe pretty well. And yeah, there are like some habitat blueprints that we could do in here. Like, listen, at this point, I'm kind of giving up on the challenge. I mean, listen, I could be super precise about what I'm doing in here, but at the end of the day, I am finishing this zoo, and I think it would be just good to have these animals have some, like, enrichment and stuff. So yeah, our Tasmanian devils can have their pumpkins and, like, their scratching posts. I do kind of want to fix this up a little bit more, have it feel like it's built in. Yeah. And we do need a bunch more penguins, so I'm just going to adopt a whole bunch more just so we could finish this video off on a nice little note. Oh, guys, this came out so good. Not good enough. I need some more benches. Okay, now it came out so good. I mean, we kind of made this island out of literally nothing. Meanwhile, we have, like, all the other islands throughout here, too. I'm just so happy that we were able to do this. Yeah, when they said we were getting an Oceania pack, I went into full panic mode. I was like, come on, I literally just finished the zoo. And look at it, we just finished it again. And we did it with only blueprints, except for some embellishments, but I know you guys can forgive me for that one. Not to mention, every single Oceania pack animal is in here, which is so cool, even the little disease-ridden freaks. But yeah, this was just such a really fun way of, I don't know, stretching my creative muscles a little bit more and doing something a bit more interesting for you guys. So yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it there. I hope you guys enjoy, like, the cinematics after this. This was a really fun video to put together, and then after this we'll have the grand tour of Castaway Keys, and then we could do some shorts and stuff. Super awesome stuff. So thank you guys for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing if you can. But if not, that's totally fine. Thank you guys one more time. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care and have the most wonderful of wonderful days. Goodbye now.